The whole news around Binance just keeps getting worse. CZ had an interview on CNBC where he absolutely tanked, and everything he said was tiptoeing around questions, and it was so ridiculous. But before we jump into that, everybody that talks about Binance, it's been the talk on social media. There's been a lot of people that say, don't talk about Binance. Oh my God, just don't. If they fall, crypto's over. You got to remember, the CEO of Binance, the founder, said if an exchange holds users' assets as is, no amount of other people's tweets will cause problems. Simple. So it is pretty simple. If Binance is a legit company, if they are running everything correctly, then no amount of people's tweets, videos, or social media talking will affect the company. But for some reason, everybody is freaking out and everyone's terrified of Binance collapsing or going down or spreading FUD. So what does that really tell you about what maybe the strength of Binance is really at? No, I don't know if Binance is going to collapse. Obviously, they're a massive exchange with lots of money, but they could fall victim to the exact same things as FTX. There's definitely a non-zero chance that they do have some sort of problems. One of those problems being that their auditor actually backed out and isn't working with crypto anymore. You can see this headline here. The Mazars Group suspends all work with crypto clients, including Binance, Crypto.com, citing concerns over public perception of proof of reserves. It's because Binance was trying to say that this was an audit when all this was Binance telling Mazars, this is our assets. That was literally it. They didn't hand them books. They didn't let them go through everything. They just simply said, this is what we want you to say, and then they have to write down that. There was literally no point to it. And they have a quote here saying that they pause its activity relating to the provision of proof of reserve reports for entities in the cryptocurrency sector due to concerns regarding the way these reports are misunderstood or understood by the public. Because Binance was or CZ was coming out saying they're getting audited, their proof of reserves is an audit, when it was never that. It was literally just, this is the reserves, this is the number, and the Mazars auditor would look at it and say, I guess that's the number that's on the paper, so they put it over here. It wasn't an audit. They didn't go through the books. They didn't look into the company. They didn't take down liabilities. They didn't do anything. It was really nothing. And another thing that should make people a little bit nervous about what could be happening at Binance is the interview that CZ did on CNBC, where he tiptoed around every question, couldn't give direct answers, and made people realize that maybe he's not really telling the ultimate truth here and trying to get around things. He sounds a lot like SBF.
Would you be able to handle it if somebody asked you for $2.1 billion back? Would that be okay? Would you be able to still withstand things?
We're financially okay.
Including you have $2.1 billion to give away. If somebody came to claw that back, you'd still be fine?
We'll let the lawyer handle it. We are financially strong.
You can see starting in on this interview, CZ dances around the question, gets asked a simple question because he had a $2.1 billion buyout from FTX about a year ago or a year and a half or something like that, where FTX bought out the shares that Binance had. The question was simple. Can you pay back that money? We have the liquidity to pay that back. And his answer wasn't yes or no. It was, we're financially stable. So for a simple question like that, why can't you give a simple answer? Why are we dancing around here and trying to make up things? And the reporter interviewer there, you can see even she knows this is ridiculous because she rolls her eyes at his answer because it's just such an insane answer. Just yes or no. Can you handle it or can't you handle it?
The audits don't reveal every problem. So,
no, but an audit from a Big Four auditor would reveal that, CZ. If you could get a Big Four auditor to say that, if you're saying that some of them don't want to work with you, that raises questions too. They don't want to work with you because you don't have the files and the data that would make them feel comfortable signing off and giving that stamp of approval?
Actually, many of them don't even know how to audit crypto exchanges. They don't really, when they audit, they're very used to auditing a firm.
And here we go again. CZ saying auditors, they're just not smart enough for this whole crypto thing. Just trust me, trust what I say. The auditors, they're just not smart enough. He must forget that there's a company that's publicly traded in the United States that uses You guessed it, a Big Four auditor. That would be Coinbase. They are publicly traded, use a Big Four auditor, and a crypto exchange. They check all the boxes. So why can't Binance do it? His reason is because Binance is bigger. Clearly, these auditors, they just can't handle big numbers for some reason, or slightly bigger numbers, not even that much bigger.
They're very used to auditing a firm.
Does Coinbase, Coinbase has a Big Four. Coinbase has a Big Four auditor?
Actually, I don't look at Coinbase. We don't really look at.
I think so, though.
I don't know the details.
So they understand it well enough.
Deloitte is the auditor for Coinbase.
It's actually so funny that he gets called out immediately after saying that, you know, auditors, they're just not smart enough for this crypto thing. And immediately the reporter's on there saying Coinbase is audited by a Big Four auditor. Like, you have no reason not to be able to use these auditors if you're such a great, well-run company. It's just everything that's going on with Binance is just screaming problems. It's screaming things like FTX. It's almost repeating itself. You have CZ puffing his chest on social media the same way Sam Bankman-Fried did to try and present strength and make people think they were super strong, when in reality, they were really weak. And for some reason, people take this as some sort of attack, and if you talk about it, then you could make it happen, and that could make it collapse, and that's the problem. When the problem was with Binance, if Binance collapses, and that's still an if, no one knows, I don't know if they're gonna collapse, but if they do, you don't want to get caught up in that. You don't want to have your money stuck there wondering, well, what if I just took it out? And with money being stuck there, there are things starting to come out from people on Binance getting these types of messages here saying awaiting approval for your request. Your withdrawal request is being reviewed. Will take approximately 12 hours. You can view the status of your withdrawal request in the withdrawal history page, blah, blah, blah. So this is what some users are getting. They're getting these messages saying it could take up to 12 hours for you to withdraw something, which is kind of crazy. Apparently, this is a normal thing. It happens on Binance. It's not like a random or new notification. So even if it's done like that, it still doesn't make too much sense. 12 hours? If you're withdrawing, say, Bitcoin, why would it take 12 hours? I know moving from cold to hot to where you want to send it shouldn't take 12 hours. Maybe it takes a little bit more time. Maybe it takes 30 minutes, an hour, but it shouldn't take 12 hours. But again, apparently this is a normal notification. There's nothing, you know, crazy. That's what a lot of people are saying, is that it's not like a new notification. It's not something that was out of the ordinary even a couple years ago or when people are using it. But there's this person who put out a thread of the story of the last 7 days from a person with money on Binance. And he's talking about what he went through to try and withdraw his money on Binance. So you can see, he says he had all of this dry powder, so money, sitting on Binance, waiting to try and snipe the bottom of the market. He's bearish on Bitcoin's price movement, so I was holding out, but the above thread made me realize how risky my strategy was. What if Binance did go insolvent? I decided to withdraw my fiat and find a safer way of purchasing Bitcoin, but was met with this message: a pending verification of your bank account. So hurdles set up in withdrawing money, problems coming, and if your main exchange is showing problems, is having problems, and you have to sit here and get notifications saying you can't move your money, that's going to make people panic. Even if it's a normal thing, having these pop-ups come up saying you can't move your money, it's going to make people upset, panic, and wonder about what's going on. And he kind of goes on here saying he got these notifications saying he temporarily disabled your account for login stuff, or disabling your account, awaiting approval notice, and a lot of things going on. Ultimately went on to some Bitcoin spaces of people talking about this. People talked about the dangers here, and he said it just wasn't worth the risk, and he took his fiat, put it into Bitcoin, and then withdrew the Bitcoin. And I think that that's what a lot of people's approach should be. It should be, get your money off of exchanges. It doesn't matter what exchange it is. It doesn't matter if it's Binance, Coinbase, Gemini. If you can think that they're going to be super trusted and they're great, it doesn't matter. Take your money off. You shouldn't have your money exposed to an exchange, especially right now when things are imploding. But we'll see what happens if Binance is good. they'll be good. If they're bad, they could last for a long, even longer time than even right now with people withdrawing and stuff. But eventually, if they're running a pretty bad business and not really keeping things how they say that they are, then they go away and someone else takes their place. That's gonna do it for this video. As always, remember to smash the like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in my next video.